New project. Getting started here. There we go. All right. New project. Big one here. We've got like, I don't know, 800 square feet of deck and roof going in here. So we've got 14 footings we need to do. We're gonna get these marked out. You can see we got a little bit of landscaping to get rid of. I don't think much of it's gonna be in the way. We'll get these marked out, get our footings in, and then we got a little bit of grading to do. Then we'll be on to framing. This one's gonna be a really cool one. Make sure you hit subscribe. Let's go. All right, let's see. Hold this right at the end. I want to mark our center point. We've got a hot tub going in on this one as well, so that's going to go right in the center. So we want to make sure we know where that's at, and we have some footings kind of close to it, but about 2 feet away. So we're good. We just want to make sure that we're not infringing on that, encroaching on that, getting in that way. Okay. All right, hold this on that mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 back there? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Okay, perfect. We got those. All right, now. These? No, you're good. Oh. Totally good. All right. We're gonna get all of them marked out. We're gonna need to demo that little thing, and then we're gonna have to cut out a little bit of concrete for one footing over here. So all of this will be ready, and then if you want to work from that way to this way, we'll be good. Sweet. All right, Goliathtech here, ready. Ready? Are you guys ready?
We're ready, Freddy.
Oh,
always ready.
Let's go. You can just go like off a little bit further.
Like here?
Yeah, it's like lined up with the close to you. We just need to be like, we got lots of wiggle in these plans. I mean, not lots of wiggle, but you know, we got a little bit of wiggle. A little wiggle. All right, and now we're gonna come out. Let's see. We're gonna come out 16 feet. I don't think you're touching the house.
There's the conduits in the way.
There's a what? Oh, conduit. We are, you know, into precision around here. Somewhat. Good?
Yep.
When you sprayed that, I thought I hit the like a little line with no way.
All right, we're good there. Now we need to do the same thing coming off of this way, coming off of this center point, over here, coming off this way.
What?
You know how we just came off the center point? We're coming off the center point going this way. Center point coming this way, 6.5 feet. That center point coming off this way.
Okay.
We're just getting set here, you know.
Okay,
we're just getting.
all right. Hey man, whatever you say. I'm just here to work.
That's the attitude. That looks pretty close. We have a 2.5 foot overhang on our beam. That's why we just, you know, we need to be close, but we got some wiggle room. So that's why we're not pulling out a million string lines. We got a pretty easy layout here. Okay, right there. And now we can just pull off of that going this way. So let's see, what was that? It was 6.5, so it will be 13 feet. Okay, now we need to come out 16 feet from the house.
Bush in the way.
Just get close. This one we also, the more important measurement for these is our distance left to right, because they're gonna set an end pole and an end pole and then run a string line. So they're not necessarily even gonna go off of this distance mark, they're gonna go off the string line, so. We'll be good.
Kind of.
Be careful, you don't do CrossFit. What's the plan here? Where are you going with that?
It's just for drama in the vlog.
Oh my God.
I can pull it. I can pull it. I
At the
would
house.
never shame anyone for not going to the gym. That's more of your speed.
It's not my speed at all. No, I do
All
not.
the time.
I do shame myself, but I don't shame other people. I wish I could just have a healthy body, whatever. You good? You good, dog? Dog, are you good? Did you go to the gym?
No, Wednesdays are my off days because I do sailing tonight.
Oh.
I got responsibility, Sean.
I don't know
There are
what that
ducks
feels like.
that depend on me. Duck update. His name is Gordon Bombay. Apparently that's a character from Mighty Ducks, I guess. Maybe when I was a kid. Not recently. Not recently enough to know the characters' names. But he is doing great. He's like the best little duck I've ever had. He's so friendly and so nice. So much better than the other ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're not nice. They're about their business. They're not friendly.
Oh.
They're fine. They're not like mean. They're just not friendly. But he's really friendly, and he like every time I go outside, he walks right over to me. I gave him a Cheez-It yesterday. He was really about that, but only one because that's not good for him. He loved it though.
A lot of times, like your phone will autocorrect to ducking. Does that come in handy for you?
I did. Yeah, it is. It is most of the time, right? But yeah, he's really good, and don't dump ducks. And somebody in the comment also said don't dump other animals. So don't dump any animals. Just be responsible with your pets.
Two little spots that we got to cut out for footings. We found a slab underneath a bunch of dirt over there, so we got one hole there, one hole here, and we got to take down these steps, and then they'll be all clear. And they're moving pretty good here. A lot of extensions needed, but they're locked in for justice, baby. So I'm gonna cut these out, and we'll be done in no time.
Right now you're just trying to cut out that tiny little hole.
Yeah.
Potentially could crack this whole slab. If you crack this slab, this is going to be outside the deck, right?
Yeah. But I don't
So you
need to
don't
cut
wanna do
all the way this way. I'll cut to the end that way. So then it'll just come on.
Hey man, what are you going to do to crack the whole slab?
It's all getting, a bunch of it's getting re-poured anyway. I think it's gonna have to come out instead of out anyway, to like feather it in. I won't crack the whole slab, I promise.
Okay.
You guys are the best. Usually we're more prepared than this. Like once we got our tools here and stuff, We're professionals, I swear. Professional. Yeehaw. There we go. Teamwork. Full team effort. Steve filming, Catherine swinging the hammer. I was using this, which was theirs. Dean gave me the mask. These guys also gave me the earplugs. Full team effort.
I feel like we're gonna get at least one comment about that not being reinforced concrete.
Well, it's been here for about 100 years and it looks pretty good.
100?
Well, the house was built about 18 years ago, so yeah, I'd say roughly about that. Flyers players. He's the first non-Flyers player to live here.
The Flyers player didn't live here. Are we gonna...
Yeah, no, he did. I got the full scoop.
Oh, you got the scoop. Okay.
Yeah. And 3 before that.
3 Flyers before that?
Yeah.
Which ones? Name drop.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Well, that's boring. So we got van. We'll need to move the porta potty. Trailer.
Van, trailer. I think we should be good.
Okay. And we're not gonna have to take any fence down or anything. We're probably not gonna need the dingo.
I think just like tomorrow, just like grading out the area under the deck, but that's it.
Okay.
Otherwise, other than that, no.
All right, so to keep our location as we install the piles, we want to lay out 2 pins. One, as parallel with the beam as we can, and one perpendicular to the beam. So we'll do 2 nails at 90 degrees. And for this location, it's a 2 3/8 pile. We want to measure it 25 1/4. That number comes from, we pick a reference number, which for most piles, we'll pick 24 inches as a reference number. And then we'll add the radius of the pile. So 2 3/8 pile, just round up to 2.5 inches. Radius of a 2.5 inch diameter pipe will give us 1.25 inches. So we add 1.25 inches plus our reference number, which is 24. So now when we put that pile down and we keep it plumb, measure to the outside of the pile and it will give you 24 inches if you're on location, which was our reference number. So then I'll lay out another one this way, trying to keep the ground somewhat smooth and flat here. $25 1/4. Now, I'm gonna have to use a hammer for that. Get the hammer, Hetty? Thank you. Of course, there's a root right here. Dang. What are the odds? So here's a fun thing. Since I can't get 25 1/4 because it kind of drops off here, I'll change my reference number and we'll just go 1.5 feet. So in that case, I just go to 19 1/4. And just like that, we'll have 24 this way, 18 that way. We'll be good to go.
Precision, baby. That's what we love to see. Life's a game of inches. Don't come up short.
You can do like 3 a week. You're making like $3 grand a week.
Building sheds?
Yeah. Like when I was like 18, 19 years old.
You wanted to be a shed builder?
I wish there was a market for it. Learn why you need like a flat foundation. You need to learn how to stand up walls. You gotta do rough openings. You gotta, side it. You gotta build a roof.
All right, day 2 here. We got all of our Goliathtech helical piles installed and we're ready to go. We're just doing a little bit of some grading. Had some, high spots, some low spots. So we're just kind of evening that out, taking out some of the plants that were in there. And then we're gonna be ready to frame. We've got our lumber package coming in another hour or 2. So we'll be getting that all staged up. We've got a lot of lumber going in here. This is a big deck. It's gonna be freaking huge. I don't even know how many square feet. It's like a lot. We've got like, I don't know, 800 square feet of deck and roof going in here. It's big. It's definitely big. Sick. Probably gotta go more. Yeah, that's a big beam.
That's a big beam.
That's your big beefy boy right there. No problem. It's not that heavy. All right, somebody else pick it up. All right. Yeah, Gather. You were laughing the loudest. Let's see.
I even made it lighter.
I'm just a little girl. Oh, nope.
You're weak. Anybody else want to try? Watch out. Sheets, 5/8 plywood, never been done before. Besides Ant, like a minute ago. I'll take my time on the setup. I don't think I can do this. You're gonna try 4?
But after you get rid of these, I want a fresh.
Oh, you took the glove I need.
I think I can do some more.
Oh. Here we go, Anthony Lombardo. 4 sheets of 5/8 plywood, done 3. What? You don't want to miss it? Why are you running? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what was happening there.
He said he'd wait until I got back.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Guys, he's a monster. I can't even believe it. I can, but So we've got all of our helical piles set at the same height. We had a little bit of back and forth about the height that we were going to do things because we're going to an existing grade here. We don't usually do that, but we figured we're going to go 14 inches below the threshold of the door. So you'll step out onto a landing, then onto the deck, and then we'll have 4 risers out by the pool, and it's going to take us just to the edge of this existing concrete. Concrete ends right here. We don't want to have to like patch in little bits of concrete here, so coming out to here is going to make it so much better. It's going to make it so much cleaner, and I think it's going to be awesome. So we're going to do, so we got all of our piles set. Now we're on to building beams. That should go up pretty quick, and this whole thing is freestanding. So you'll see here, we've got piles by the house. That's because this whole deck is going to be self-supported, and we're doing that because 2 reasons really. They had the whole house resided. We don't want to mess with that. And we're going just below we're kind of splitting halfway between the foundation and the rim board of the house. So having it freestanding is going to make it so much easier, eliminate a lot of problems, and we don't have to mess with that siding.
Would you rather this deck be an 1/8 inch too high or an 1/8 inch too low?
1/8 inch too high?
Because I'd rather spin all the tech facing the other way.
Oh, okay.
So either go low with them or high with them.
Yeah, whatever.
So I like since we have to put the 2x6s on the back.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like how we have to go above the lag thing.
Yeah, perfect.
So I'm gonna start cutting them up, making those.
Okay. Yeah, let's turn them this way, to the right. So it'll be a little bit low.
So good if anything it drops it.
Yeah.
But then should we raise it? Because like we measured like if the decking's only 7/8.
Well, what I did was inch for the decking, and then I do 9.5 and 9 1/4. That way it evens out to like 9 3/8. Which, if anything, is probably a little bit higher than that. If anything, maybe an 1/8 inch there. So twist it down just a little bit. To the right. One hop this time. Ant's gonna start cutting the 6x. They're gonna be 8 inches above this. So an 8 inch 6x, and then our beam's gonna go on top of that. We can kind of start getting stuff back here. We're gonna have 3 20s here. So we've got a beam here, then a big open space for the hot tub, another beam there. So it'll just be 3 20s, 3 20s. This is only like 8 feet, so we'll just make it 10. So 3 10s there. This is the only one that we got to splice. So figure we'll go from here to there and just offset them. So it'll be like seam there, and then stagger it.
When it's just make how much in the middle, right?
Yep. Yeah, the middle is going to be, there's no beam here because this is where the hot tub's going to be. So 20s. Let me just make sure.
Spinning it.
2 hops this time.
You're doing like a mashup situation.
Yeah, it's not the same song. That's what?
There's definitely a skating ring thing.
Oh, yeah. Is that Bon Jovi? All right,
think
cool.
so,
Yeah. 20s, 10, some more over there, and we'll get them up. Woo!
You guys got any jokes for the people?
Yeah, you got any jokes?
Your face. Ah!
Oh,
That was just mean. The thing we're figuring out right now is because this thing is freestanding, what we like to do is set our rim joists right on top of the beam, so then we can nail it from the back side and then push it towards the house. Since this thing is super big, it's going to be really difficult to do the entire thing, push the whole thing. So we're going to build it essentially in 3 sections, and that's why we're doing a lot of the figuring right now instead of just getting a ledger up and then marking our layout. We got to kind of figure this out ahead of time, but it's going to make it a lot easier to get this into place.
Okay, we got the Big Johnson out, and we got our beam. We're just checking to make sure that everything is up to correct height and level. So if we look at the bubble, we put the 6-footer on, and it is. It's right there. Inside the tolerances, inside the lines. That's what we're looking for. We don't want anything to roll off the deck because it's not level. How many more times can I say level?
So we're on a good track. We leveled all of our post bases on the helical piles with the laser, so we figured should be dead on. Then we had Ant cutting all of these to the height that we decided on, which was 8 inches. He must have cut at least these 3 dead on because we put the beam on here. We're perfectly level. That's great news. Now what we need to do is make sure that we have enough length on both sides. So they're setting up the square there.
Hey Sean, why don't you just notch that post?
It's a great question. Why don't you just notch that post instead of these rinky-dink little metal connectors? For the record, I do think that these connectors are kind of rinky-dink, but you know, that's code now. Got to put a metal hanger on freaking everything. But that's why, I'll show you in a second, we're going to double up this support the way that I like to do it, but the way that they're not allowing it via code any longer, at least around here. End beams. Question we get 6 zillion times. Why don't you notch the posts and then bolt them together? Well, we're flush on this backside, post to beam, you can see how much is left. We got 4.5 inches here on our beam, sometimes a little bit more than that, and we have like no meat here. So if we were to notch this 1 inch, and you have a 1 inch piece of this 6x coming up, and you through bolt that, that's not going to be super strong. So, and then why don't you just use 8x8 posts? Well, then we got to use 8x8s. What lumberyard even has those in stock? And then you got to get bigger saddles for your piles. Like, it's just, there's no point in that. So we add these on here because these are required by code, which they do a lot. I don't know, I'm not super convinced. So put these on both sides. The thing I don't love about these as just a standalone solution is they give you, you know, a good amount of lateral stability. And this is on a really, really short post. So, you know, if anything, it's going to be even stiffer than usual. So what we like to do to really lock it in, we've got this scab that we put on the back. And what we're going to do here, now we've got a super strong connection. We've essentially doubled up our connection points. We've got the metal bracket, and then we've got this scab on the back, which I feel like this really gives it that rigidity that we're looking for. And then we cut this on a bevel, so if any water gets on here, it'll run off. But on this project, everything's gonna be covered by a roof, so not a big problem. Another thing that I'm gonna do here, because we did have a little bit of some cupping on one of these pieces of the beam, I'm gonna throw some lag screws in here.
So now I'm ready to mark my 12-inch on center layout. A tip you guys want to pay attention to is pressure on the tape measure. You always want to keep pressure on it when you lift up your finger, so the tape measure doesn't move. Pressure, lift up, pressure, lift up, pressure, pressure. Now, I always like to double line my joist layout. Call me stupid, call me silly, it's what I do. A good tip to know is your framing square is 1.5 inches thick. Makes it a lot more easier. Now, since I laid out that last joist, that gave me about 5.5 inches of working space. The more you know.
Well, that's our last connector. All of our beams are set, all 4 of them. So beam down, we are good. Nick's putting in the last couple of scabs on the back, and then we are good to go start running joists, and we got a ton of them. We're gonna build this in 3 separate sections, but you're gonna have to wait until the next vlog for us to get to all of that. So make sure you hit subscribe, stay tuned, and until next time, this has been Premier Outdoor Living.
Okay, so
How long is this?
it's
All right.
okay. So a guy washes up on shore, right? His boat crashes. He washes up on shore.
Okay.
And also, a pig and a dog wash up on shore.
Okay.
So the guy's been on the island for a while, right? So the pig is starting to look nice, but not in the way that you think.
Okay.
So he starts going over to the pig and starts like playing with its curly tail, rubbing its head, and the dog sees this, and the dog gets mad, starts barking at him. He's like, all right, all right, all right. So then like 2 days later, he goes back to the pig and he sees the dog asleep. He goes, all right, now's my opportunity. So he goes over, he starts like caressing the little tuft of hair on top of the pig, and he's rubbing it and cuddling up with it. And the dog wakes up and runs over and starts and bites him. And he's like, all right, all right, all right. So about a month later, he doesn't see the dog around at all. So he goes over to the pig and he starts like cuddling up to the pig, and the dog bites him really good, to where he's like, all right, I'm done with this, I'm done with this. Fast forward about a month later, a beautiful blonde woman. Her boat crashes. She's the only one. She comes up on the beach. And the guy goes up to her and goes, "Thank God you're here. I need somebody to hold this dog."
Hey, he's on his own island. I guess he makes the rules.